So, you like my eyes?
You have very, very beautiful eyes, mister.
Please don't burn us.
Thank you. I'll think about it.
Maybe just this one time.
So,
just for
we
me
were
one
promised-
time.
So, we promised our audience we'd do Scooby-Doo next. Why are we suddenly going back to Marvel Comics?
Well,
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago that we did the Spider-Mans.
well, dear James and Logan, I wanted to do this game last year, but my internet said fuck you. Not today.
Yeah,
Not today. Not if the Columbia lady has anything to say about it.
the Columbia lady.
Her name is
Columbia
Jenica.
lady, yeah.
Oh.
I have no idea if that's her actual name. It was just funny to me. So, much as I at one point covered Haunted Mansion as a fun, spooky licensed tie-in game to a movie that came out around that time, would you believe there was a second one?
God damn, that's a little too close for comfort there, Nick.
But nonetheless, from what I've seen, Doug has a wonderful appreciation and skill with this game.
Yep, Ghost Rider. And I love this game. To me, it's one of my favorite hack and slash video games of all time.
Okay.
And actually, it's kind of funny that you use Haunted Mansion as a comparison, Logan, because, like, even though this game was very clearly made, to cross-promote with the Nicolas Cage movie, or the first one, rather, the actual contents of the game actually line up a little bit more with the comics.
Well, hell yeah. Then okay, in that case, then it also kind of then reminds me of the first the Hulk video game for PlayStation 2 when that came out.
Mm-hmm.
God, I
But
remember
anyway,
playing that.
it was so cool. That's how I was introduced to like Half-Life and the Leader. And anyway, so is there anything that we should know about? Is there anything that? Oh yeah, you're good. Is there anything we should know about the story of Ghost Rider before we go into this? Say,
Yeah,
in the
like,
case
as
of-
someone... Like, I'd like to think that at least 2 out of the 4 of us here absolutely have no idea who or what Ghost Rider even is.
I know some to extent of Ghost Rider, morely because some of the extent of looking at him as well as seeing some materials of Ghost Rider. But with this game's help, I know some parts of his history, as well as this
Okay,
game.
so we'll be able to learn it from playing the game. Fair enough. Alrighty.
Yep.
Well,
I will.
I
I will tell a bit of the story once we go in.
Okay.
And I say we're just sticking with the OG Ghost Rider.
OG Ghost Rider. Yep, because everyone aside from Blade plays the same.
Okay. Cosmetics. Let's rock it.
Let's ride.
And let's make this a challenging ride through hell.
Yep.
We should. Yes, we should. Alright, so first we'll be having some cutscenes, no subtitles because of the era. Sorry.
Johnny Blaze. Kid was a stuntman. A damn good one. Jumping bikes through flaming hoops. All sorts. But nothing he did could save his father from the cancer that consumed him. That is until Johnny met a stranger who offered him a deal. Curing his father's cancer for his mortal soul. And his father's illness did disappear, just in time for him to die a faster death. It was the demon lord Mephisto who had cheated Johnny Blaze and transformed him into the Ghost Rider. Now Johnny sees no rest. When called, he must become the Rider and exact vengeance on those who spill the blood of the innocents. The devil needs an agent in the world of men, and never more so than now, for the apocalypse is suddenly at hand.
Johnny Blaze still thinks his destiny is his own. I want a word with him below, where even angels' eyes are blind.
As you wish, I will bring the Ghost Rider to you. So now Johnny is in hell. And he ain't too pleased about it.
As one would.
So
Yeah,
wait,
if you could
we're
recognize
supposed to be
Mephisto's voice actor, that was indeed Kirk Thorne.
Cool. So
Beginnings.
backing up. Wait. So we're supposed to work for the devil, but then the devil decided to betray us and send us to hell anyway?
It's
If I
almost as
remember,
if the
Johnny is
devil's-
his own free will,
Yeah.
but
But
still
like
has to work
you
for
say
it.
that, Logan, the whole notion... I was about to say, like, you say that, Logan, the whole notion of, like, oh, we made a deal with the devil, but he sent us here anyway. It's almost as if, you know, the devil's a very untrustworthy son of a spit that you shouldn't make deals with or something.
I mean, you've seen what he did to poor Peter.
Oh, that is true.
Oh, God.
Or Mephisto and Peter. So, beyond that, it looks like it is not to say that this game was derivative, but like as you can see, there's definitely some Devil May Cry inspirations. But
Yep.
but I like so far I'm liking the idea of using your signature chain hooks for damage.
It's very nice. I like it.
There's our score meter. Soundtrack is rocking pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
Is this
My
the
favorite
part-
thing is the soundtrack itself. It's fantastic.
Hell yeah. Good time for a nice romping summer slasher monster romp.
You know,
I think
this,
that's
the way that oh, damn, I'm already forgetting his actual name.
Johnny Blaze?
Johnny Blaze.
Yep.
But you know,
That's his
I'm
name.
definitely, I can definitely see that Johnny's tricks were taken up by one Kratos back in the Grecian era.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, so, if it is an appropriate time, Doug, to raise my hand for the teacher in class, again, okay, that's our special meter to use our cool hell shotgun.
Yep.
And Retribution, we're just claiming someone's soul.
Pretty much. But you were saying?
I would say that evil person who was working for Mephisto that just kind of looked like Venom or Carnage mixed with a Ghost Rider. Who was that?
That was Vengeance.
Oh, that's always odd because I always thought Ghost Rider like was a spirit of vengeance or like controlled it, but now there's like an evil one of us.
I thought so too for a good while.
Yeah.
But I am guessing it is something to do with the comics.
Yep, we are destined to face them then. Welcome your fire to absorb it. Okay.
Fire helps
Yep.
us heal, and that's our only way to heal.
Oh,
The only way to heal is to literally burn.
I mean, that would make sense. You know, it's like Hades. Like, oh, someone put your hair out. You gotta reignite.
Hey, sir, I'm gonna put your hair on
demons.
fire. There you go, all healed up.
Ah,
Just
perfect.
grab a bottle of oily shampoo, literally rinse it down your skull, and then light a match.
I'll
Actually,
put hair
you
on
say
your
that-
head.
You know, the whole notion... This is going to be somewhat random, but it kind of reminds me of this comic I saw. It was right around the time Ultimate Marvel 3 came out, and they announced Ghost Rider was going to be part of the new roster. There was this comic of, like, you know, it started off with Ghost Rider being up one of the characters, and then, like, in the back you just see Taskmaster, you know, because this whole shtick is copying moves from other heroes, because he has, like, you know, photographic reflexes. He sees Ghost Rider, he just has, like, this, like, pissed off, determined look on his face, and without changing his expression at all, dumps, like, a liter of something down his head, then just lights a match. Like, I'm the one.
I
like,
remember.
You think you can have a fiery skull? Well, I can do that better.
I do remember seeing that. It was like, Taskmaster, no. I remember seeing that. And then wasn't there also that freaking what's his face, the guy who does like the old like he does those videos where he does impersonations of like characters from like the 80s and like the same like hey Superman, you know what I'm talking about that, like didn't he do one where it was
Solid J?
Taskmaster? Yeah, Solid J, when he did that video where Taskmaster was like purposefully attempting to copy everybody, but it just wasn't working.
I'd have to go back and check that, because I don't remember him making a video like that.
I'm looking it up now. Yep. It was a Taskmaster. It was called Taskmaster's Task. To which let me see what he was doing.
So I guess
I
while they're
remember-
looking up all this stuff, is there any other like gameplay mechanics or whatnot you want to talk about, Doug?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Just like any hack and slash, you do get level ups for your abilities further on by collecting soul points, which is on the top right of the screen.
Okay.
All right.
The more you
So
get,
I'll
the
do that.
more powerful you'll become.
So pretty much this game's
Especially
Red Orb
later on.
slash. Yeah.
Fair
So yeah,
enough.
pretty much this game's Red Orb slash whatever the Red Energy was called in God of War.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Now we got aerial enemies. Okay, yeah, I found it here. Yeah, it was called Taskmaster's Task, and what happened was that he was facing off against Captain America, and I think Mr. Fantastic, and that's actually kind of neat. I was like, that's actually kind of neat is that they'll let you upgrade like right on the fly. Hello,
nice.
Clint. Hello,
Yep.
old writer.
Old writer.
I forgot
Old
his
Sam
name.
Elliott.
Sam Elliott, yeah. who was
Well,
in
no,
the movie.
that was his actor's name in the movie. His actual name is. Actually, I don't know what his
I thought it was just the
character
writer.
name is, but I know he's known as the Phantom Rider.
Oh.
Yep.
I guess
Yeah.
I guess we could ask that right now. Like, have any of us here actually seen the Ghost Rider movie?
Long.
I have. I've seen
years
both,
ago, but
actually.
it's been a long time.
I've seen the first one a long time ago. How was the second one? Hype.
It is both better and worse in a handful of
Oh.
ways.
Fair enough. I know it definitely got sillier. I recall, or at least with
Well,
Nick
I
Cage's
would say it's a
performance.
matter of like the stuff where he pretty much is like they handled the Ghost Rider stuff better in the second one, but the second one also had a much more poorly written story.
Damn.
So it sounded like, say, the Michael Bay Turtles films.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
In a sense.
Ah, well. But where was it? Gosh, oh dear. But I was like, that's actually kind of interesting that they actually will let you access the shop at any time. Usually in other ones you'd have to like wait till the end of a level or hit up a store. So that's actually.
I know that's usually like that in the Devil May Cry games. I mean, say if you're playing like again God of War, though, I think that was something you always had, like you could always access like from the pause menu.
Maybe.
And this is like released around 2006, where by that point the world was already graced with the likes of, well, mostly Devil May Cry, but I mean that was also like a year before. That's when God of War first made its rounds.
Okay.
And I think
Another
the
thing
sequel
you
was
can't-
already on its way.
Another thing you can
Right.
do in this game is, of course, taunt against the enemies. It will also
Penance
boost a little
stare?
bit of your combo meter.
That is totally a Dante thing to do.
I like it.
Definitely.
I love hearing them crusty Game Boy quality vocals.
Actually,
great.
when you're taunting near an enemy, does it actually raise up their aggro or no?
No, it boosts up your combo meter all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just as, if you can get
Also
the whole
depends on
taunt
how many
off,
enemies there are too.
Right. So yeah, maybe like based on how close. Oh, the big boy now.
He's the big guy.
Yeah, the big guy.
And he's got
Right,
horns
shut
on.
your
He's got
goddamn
horns.
mouth.
He literally
Excuse me,
has horns on. He has horns for nipples. I'm not sure how to feel about that.
Don't do the screen nuke. He's just a boy. Oh, it's
He's
okay,
just a
he's all
boy.
right.
That is not a boy, Logan.
Be easy on him. He flunked first grade for 7 years.
And
Sure.
Shotgun. What are our defenses like? Like, can we block or dodge, or is it mainly just all
Yes.
offense all the time? Oh, so there's a block. Okay.
You can block by the R1 trigger, because PS2 exclusive. And the only way you can dodge is moving the right stick. That is your only way of dodging.
Ah. Okay. And you also
You
have
can
them
also dodge by
there
the
we go.
dash.
We're
yeah.
already done with the first level.
Out of
Man.
5. Wow. Okay. That's the other thing is that from what Dark
Parts
Souls
of
is
the
actually unfortunately. Oh, parts of a level.
Oh, so we're only on. So what is this like? So basically, we're dealing more so with like 5 chapters as opposed to 5 levels.
Right.
Pretty much.
That's fair. I mean, we
that
are
makes more sense.
Okay. That makes better. I mean, yeah. I mean, we are the Ghost Rider. Better ride.
That's right, boys.
How
So
is it?
how would you rate his wheels?
Yeah, the handling.
Pretty hot.
Fair.
But,
literally
aside from
hot,
that
but
pun
how-
and joke, wow. It feels a little bit tanky, but it is okay at first.
Okay.
Okay.
Just get used to it and woo. Oh, and nice. Of course, you got a freaking cannon on this thing. This looks like
Yep.
the main way if you want to try and get bonus experience between melee stages.
Pretty much. It really helps out. You will get upgrades later for the bike too, but that is, if I remember, after this stage.
Okay.
How often do you
Since
come
this is
across these
tutorial.
bike sections? Ah, okay.
They're all segmented. So once you're on the bike, you're on your way to get that power up, as well as elemental gateways that just blocks your main pathway.
Ew.
Oh.
So get the
enough.
elemental
Out of
on
the
the bike,
way.
and there you go.
Now I'm getting freaking no, not Twisted Metal. Crap. Hi, what was the name of the motorcycle LucasArts game again?
Oh, you mean I know what you're talking about, but I'm having a hard time remembering myself.
Not Full Metal.
Full Throttle.
Full Throttle. That was it. Yeah, that was it.
Oh, Full Throttle.
Yeah.
You would like Full Throttle, Doug. It's like somehow taking like a metal just like a metal rock and roll motorcycle like grunge kind of story, but with a point-and-click adventure game.
Okay, I could probably look into that later.
Mixed with sci-fi elements as well.
There's a remastered version of it and everything.
There is a remastered version, yeah, with 2D visuals and.
I did show this off,
Ah,
but it's
use the
2D.
beam on the slide.
Oh.
You cut that one close.
The camera angles in the bike sections are really fucking good.
Well,
As well
they
as
should
ragdoll
be.
physics.
Oh god, is there ragdoll physics for this?
They will come later.
I really want to. I know it would probably result in us losing, but I would love to see ragdoll physics.
Alright,
It'd
hang
really
on.
be a fun thing. Oh my gosh, we're gonna do it. Oh boy, oh boy.
If I say
Well,
anything
how easy
blocking
is it to
me...
die on this set?
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So, like, if it's something that you have to jump over, we can. Whoa.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we are.
Aye.
Oh.
His legs kind of go.
Well,
And
I
we-
mean, that was just hell's equivalent to a slap on the wrist.
Okay, that's fine. Well, what we
Very
need is
much.
we need to find. Okay, so maybe not this one, but if we see something that you have to jump over, yay. If we see something we need to jump over, then run into that, because I'm sure you'll get to see him go flying.
Although I guess
They'll
just
always be on
to-
screen.
Although that bit of slapstick notwithstanding, I guess we should probably be a little bit more cautious, because like
There it
what would
is.
you say are like any like are there any like specific penalties for like dying in this game?
Not too much, but if you do get hit multiple times because there's no invincibility frames, that's your quickest way to die.
Ah, okay.
And there's not much health stations in some parts of the levels, so if there's one, get it immediately.
Well, and if you die, do you have to like restart from the beginning of that particular stage?
Excuse me.
Specific levels that you already got the checkpoint on.
Whoa. Fair enough.
Well,
Like how would you
Right.
say
Oh,
this
Lord.
game how would you say this game is with checkpoints? Would you say that they're fairly generous or are they pretty sparse?
I'd say they're generous, but that's only okay. Later on, you're doing a certain mission of this game. If you don't get this on screen, that is your only parts of getting the checkpoint.
Oh,
If you don't get it, you have to reset that part of the section all over again.
it's the devil.
Guys, we're about to meet the devil.
The devil.
It's the devil. The devil.
Well, let's go say hello and oh.
Let's ask him if he wanted any fries with that shake.
But
Really,
first,
you needed help. Oh. Heavy combo.
I recommend doing this now.
Oh.
I was gonna say we have like we got a butt ton of souls for completing that motorcycle stage.
And is this all we're gonna get, or is this like all the bars we're gonna get throughout the game, or? I mean, I
We
guess
do
it
have-
also depends on how does your what's the word? Does the soul requirement for each other level get like higher and higher?
In terms of difficulty, it will be, but it's easy
Okay.
to rank up the souls.
Okay.
So how so would it be possible to rank completely max out by the time you reach the end of the game, or nah?
Oh yeah, it's very possible.
Okay.
I've done it
Keep
countless
'em
times.
coming.
By the end of this game, our entire body is going to heat up hell much more than it already is heated.
Yeah, I
making
mean,
me
like,
feel
we're
so
already, like, halfway done with the upgrades for a lot of these.
No kidding.
Yep.
Jesus. And we're only like what two small shorter levels in.
Pretty much.
Don't forget that we are also on a harder difficulty, so I'm sure whatever difficulty you're on will increase the gains you receive for each level.
I'm on the medium
just-
difficulty, but it will get harder later on.
Gotcha.
I'll say they're definitely not afraid to throw a lot of enemies at you. Also, I
Yep.
remember the Taskmaster
keep coming.
thing. So it was Solid JJ. It was called Taskmaster's Task. It was like him against Captain America and Mr. Fantastic, And when Mr. Fantastic shows up, like, you have no chance of beating us, not unless you too are made of rubber. And Taskmaster just grabs his wrist and just snaps it as he's like, he's screaming like, ah! But then he does all this just so he can start spinning his arm very quickly to like whip his like dislocated hand around and around. Like, see, you ain't nothing. And they're like, dude, do you need help? No.
I finally beat Mr. Fantastic. Someone get me to a hospital.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Light him ablaze.
So, in all of these iterations, like, would you say, Doug, do you happen to? Oh, jeez. Do you happen to have a favorite iteration or interpretation of the Ghost Rider?
Not too many as far as I've seen, but I always appreciate the game's Ghost Rider, honestly, because it just makes him look badass.
I mean, as he should. As far as I know, the only interpretations I can think of were, of course, the Nicolas Cage one. There was not Johnny Blaze, but the Ghost Rider with the car. I know he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. As,
I
like,
remember
couple
him.
cameos. And no, James, unfortunately, I don't think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is even canon to the MCU at this point. And, like, I rarely ever see any real like mention of it.
Well, that's because like it's been off the air for like a good while, so.
That'd do it.
It's one of those that it just came and went, and now they just claim it's non-canon.
Damn.
Well, I don't know if it's considered non-canon. It's just that they haven't really utilized it at all.
Well, was this around the same time where where they still had the likes of Netflix's Daredevil and Punisher runs?
Oh yeah, like it was still fairly early into the MCU. I think it was like right at the tail end of Phase 1.
Gotcha.
In fact, I think it actually was like the first like TV show based on the MCU.
I think so. Yeah, I believe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was the first one. Yeah. And it had.
And then to think that was only just a start. That was just the beginning of what else they would make into TV adaptations.
Pretty much,
Actually, now that
right
I
there.
think about it, like I know we talk about like our fatigue with the Disney Plus TV shows, but there actually was like as far as I know, there actually was like a fairly sizable gap between that and when we started giving TV shows, because like, you know, discounting Netflix because of how Netflix handles its thing, like the only other shows that we had around that time were the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter, which that was like its own, like, even though it's in the same universe, it was its own like isolated story.
Wasn't there a whole like show based on Jessica Jones as well?
Yes.
Well, that's also part of the Netflix series.
I think they didn't they call it, like the Guardians or something like that.
Oh no,
the
you mean like their
the
version of the
Defenders,
Avengers? They
I
called
remember,
themselves the Defenders.
Right, the Defenders, where it was Liu Kang.
Defenders, not Avengers.
Fair enough. Also, wow. Also,
if you
I just
excuse
want to
me.
make sure I was reading. Kaboom! I was gonna say, oh lord, not a twofer.
Oh boy.
Oh wait, oh. Oh my
You
gosh,
become
just
much
puts them all
stronger
into a
and
finisher. Oh my lord, look at him go!
Yeehaw!
Also, I want to make sure I was seeing that correctly. It looks like occasionally in these battles you will actually find an enemy that has a status or a rank shield that you can only break it if you are that exact rank.
That's
Nice.
a lot of
Yep,
vengeance.
that's the only. Hell yeah, that's the only. Yeah, you can only defeat those enemies with those barriers on a certain rank, which around the second to last parts of the chapter, it will have vengeance.
Jeez.
So I'm gonna use my specials to get them immediately.
Hell Scraper Duel.
Oh, okay. Well, that's neat then. That's neat that you can at least brute force it with a special to crash him.
Yeah.
In his fury, Ghost Rider had laid waste to legions of Hell's abominations. But he had yet to discover a route out of the infernal kingdom. It was time for Mephisto to play his hand.
Going somewhere, Ghost Rider?
Mephisto.
Not thinking of leaving, I hope. If you want to leave, it will be on my terms.
I don't think so.
Listen. Blackheart's plan almost succeeded, and the horde of hell has risen from my kingdom to finish what he could not. They are running loose on the surface world, beyond even my control. Their presence in the world of mortals breaks the very laws of heaven and hell. Soon they will trigger the apocalypse. You must bring them back, or it will be the end of everything.
Why me?
I have a pact with the angels in heaven. If I cannot control my kingdom, they will take it from me. Rule number 1, no demons on Earth. This is a job for the Ghost Rider, no one else.
And what if I tell you to?
Did you hear what I said? The end of everything. All you ever cared about. One soul in particular.
Roxanne.
She dies tonight, Ghost Rider.
No.
Vengeance, go! Find Roxanne Simpson. Bring her to me.
Vengeance, you're mine. You've got no chance in hell of getting away.
I saw what he did there. Get him!
Time to kill this bastard.
Also, I noticed that I'm starting to notice a certain character got name dropped, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, isn't it kind of funny how Blackheart got to be in the Marvel vs. Capcom games before Ghost Rider did?
Kind of
Yeah,
funny.
it was.
I,
Yeah, it was
I,
something
ge-
else.
I genuinely thought the name drop you were gonna be saying is that Roxanne. Wow, the Goofy movie really took off in a different direction after that college
Look
scene.
into my eyes. Yuck.
You
was
will
thinking
know
the
what
exact
my
same
name
thing.
is. You will know my name is Vengeance.
Now I'm just scared to think, like, if someone's actually made fan out there of one of the Mickey Mouse characters literally cosplaying as Ghost Riders, complete with the skull and flaming head.
Well, I mean, there are some Disney artists have drawn Mickey and friends dressed as the Avengers and X-Men, so maybe
And
give them
Spider-Man.
time and money.
So I can't find one exactly like what you're thinking of. However, I did remember one thing that we saw. I think we looked at it. I think we mentioned either earlier this year or last year, which I thought was a really cool detail in a game that no one actually really cares about anymore. You guys remember Disney Infinity, their response to Skylanders?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I remember.
So,
I still got the figures for Mickey and Donald for that one.
So one of the things that they added in, I think 3.0 was how they called it, was they allowed you to have vehicles. You did it! Hang on, cutscene.
Woohoo!
He got stared.
With vengeance defeated, Ghost Rider races for the surface. Out of the frying pan and into the fire, so to speak.
You made short work of vengeance, but my servants are many. You cannot oppose my will.
I'll do it. For Roxanne and nothing else.
And go, proceed to San Venganza! Hunt down the demons and seal the rift between the worlds forever! Either Lilith or the Rider. Tonight, one must fall.
That was a silly name for a city, but I
All
don't know.
according to plan.
Well, we made it to the city. It's time to raise hell.
So I guess that now that I assume that's the end of our first episode.
That is the first chapter. This is the second.
Okay. And I assume every other chapter is more or less the same way. You get like 2 major levels, 1 motorbike level, and then a boss level at the very end.
Pretty much.
Can't go wrong with structure. So let's take care of this old western town.
Now, real quick, what were you trying to say about Disney Infinity?
Oh yes, that in 3.0 they added the red door. But yeah, they in Disney in Infinity 3.0 they were adding some vehicles that you could ride, and one of the vehicles that you could ride, I don't know its name, but you could actually ride Johnny Blaze's motorcycle.
Oh, man.
And in particular,
Oh, that's right. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about.
and in particular, one detail I thought was very cute was when Jack Skellington rides the motorcycle, the developers actually had it so that when Jack Skellington rides, his head does light on fire to become a spirit of vengeance.
It was beautiful.
It's nice.
Beyond that, the only other Spirit of Vengeance that we're familiar with on this channel is the Ghost Spider with that wonderful little awkward walk in and out during the Spider-Man game we did.
Only in post-con could you have gotten away with that.
Oh, but it was so worth it.
Yes, it was. It was.
Yeah. So, how did you happen upon this game, Doug?
One of my friends actually recommended this game to me and said that I would fully enjoy this game, and I do.
Well, hell
That's
yeah.
good to hear.
Good.
Actually, one thing I'll ask real quick, because it's honestly hard to tell from all the filters. Is someone else filling in for Ghost Rider, or did they actually get Nick Cage back to reprise his role?
I'm pretty sure it's just someone else.
Okay.
I don't think it's Nick Cage. Alright, now you've done it, Buster.
Considering this is the era where movie tie-ins, like, almost never have their actual actors reprise their roles, it's kind of, it goes without saying that, yeah. So, most of the time, expect it to be a sound-alike.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but off the top of my head, the first thing that comes to mind when you do that, like, big, like, stomp, for some reason, all I can think of is Nostalgia Critic doing the, sorry, I'm going for 4! And then just, like, slamming down when, I think they were playing, I think he was doing I think he was reviewing the Camelot game. Not game, the Camelot movie. A long story, I know.
It was a long and awesome story.
I'll tell you all about it later. But I mean, I think this so far. I think this looks like a very solid game for the era that it came out. It's like, I mean,
I'm gonna look into you soon, son.
Oh no.
Well, damn.
But yeah, I'm trying to think what else will like clear out more of this map. Would you like, I don't wanna. Would you say that this game is like a I don't know, would you liken it to a like guilty pleasure almost sort of thing?
I'd say this is more of a guilty pleasure, yeah.
Alright.
Because, I mean, yeah, no, like, see, like, looking from the gameplay, it's clearly just trying to mimic off of, you know, the hack and slashers that were popular at the time, and, I mean, I'm not seeing any, I mean, from the looks of it, it's not, you know, bad or anything, it's just fairly run-of-the-mill at the very worst.
I think it pulls off what it has to.
It's also
Yeah.
simple to get by.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to think of, like, you know, the mid-2000s, like its own brand of, like, you know, licensed games that actually were pretty alright in spite of what they were based off of, and
well, I mean, if you want some obvious examples, there's stuff like Battle for Bikini Bottom.
oh yeah, no, like the SpongeBob games back then, at the very least, with that and the movie game, were pretty okay.
I will still defend Haunted Mansion to my very deepest.
I mean, yeah, no, it's like I've been like, whether it be you or even some Call Me Johnny, apparently the game's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Thank you, Sam.
Actually, that's one
you,
thing I
Sam.
do find kind of funny, is that, like, notice in this menu and in some of the cutscenes, like, for the most part, they're pretty good about keeping the likenesses for a lot of the actors, like Sam Elliott here, and with Mephisto, it actually does look like Peter Fonda, the guy who played him in the movie. But anytime you see Nick Cage, it is very obviously someone other than Nick Cage.
I can only assume maybe something to do with his likeness wasn't allowed.
Probably.
Listen, you want to put my face in that game, you're gonna have to pay extra.
You're gonna have to take it off my very... And then that's how they got the movie Face Off.
Gotta take it out of my goddamn soul.
Listen, you look to a game like Dead by Daylight, and you can tell they know what they're doing.
Now, I
Have
haven't
you
played it myself, mind you, but I'm sure they know what they're doing.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that video where they actually break down all of his voice lines in the game that he recorded, and he just went freaking nuts, and I love it.
It sounds like you had a hell of a good time with it.
That's the thing. Like between things like that, I know he did Mandy. I know he did that one horror movie inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's. Not Five Nights at
Willy
Freddy's, but
Wonderland.
Willy Wonderland. I know he was in that, and it looked like I think he said. random thought, like between him and like even Elijah Wood, like something about like I genuinely like seeing these actors like get a kick out of like schlocky horror.
Actually, the funny thing about the Willy
fun.
Wonderland is that, like, Nick Cage, despite being the star of the film, from what I understand, he doesn't even say a single devil damn thing in it.
Nope.
Really?
He is a silent protagonist.
That's you can't have a movie with Nick Cage and make him the silent protag.
But I will say he has a lot. He has some funny moments. Have you seen
do
that
it.
movie yet, Doug? Don't
Gotta
do
do
it.
it.
They're just grossly disproportionate children.
Logan, they're demons. You don't have to... Like, if this game were released in, like, the 2020s, then people would be okay with you defending these blood-sucking monsters. But this is the early 2000s. It's okay to demonize the demons.
I'm scared though, Hype. This is what lesson is this teaching children? That it's okay
Logan.
to pummel the hellspawn of the underworld?
Logan, you play Doom, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I played Doom
It's
as
one
well.
of the same. It's the same principle.
Yeah, like,
enough.
man, like, I joked about it before. I don't care, I'll joke about it again. That one interview that Logan brought up about the whole, like, oh, well, why are we fighting the demons? Like, what is the motivation? It's like, they're demons. Do you like demons? No. It's like, given how the internet is with demon characters nowadays, that interview would not fly if they gave that in this time of year.
It's like, listen, there are properties where they treat demons a little more respectfully, and then there are others where demons are bloodthirsty monsters, and it's like, honestly, you can have both. I mean, you can do either or. It really doesn't matter. It depends on how you portray them in the first place.
Understood.
Like, if they're going to be an absolute nuisance, then yeah, you give them absolute nuisance with no rhyme or reason. I mean, hell, go at them. But it's like, if they're actually like, if they do act remotely civilized, like, say, I don't know, Hellboy, then I'd say that'd be all the more reason to, puts a little more interest. I don't know.
That's fine.
It's one of those things that's worth discussion.
Right,
I get what you
context,
mean,
at
and I'm
least.
definitely interested to see how exactly that Hellboy game turns out. And honestly, like, at some point, I wouldn't mind us like watching the Hellboy movies.
I think it'd be.
You're talking about the older ones, right?
The two older ones with Ron Perlman, and you know what? Even the two anime movies that apparently had some of the same voice actors in it.
Really?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd be up for giving that a look-see.
That'd be fun.
Phew. All right, nicely done.
Well, we burned down an entire gulch.
Now it's time to ride through the gulch.
Though I
Into the valley of death.
the valley of the shadow of death.
I take a look at myself and realize my head's on fire. Help.
Riding through the valley of death.
Wait a minute, this ain't Death Mountain.
And to your right, you will potentially see the Roadrunner zooming on by.
But don't try to chase after him. Don't try to chase after him. He's gonna lead you into a wall, Mr. Ralph Wolf, and you're not gonna be able to follow him. He's always gonna beat you in the race.
Well, yeah, because that was in the tutorial for Sheep Raider.
And I remember loving that because I thought that was a very clever like use of technology to actually make that like mechanic work, that you could actually almost get tricked by the Roadrunner.
Actually, hold on. Let me actually go back to my previous joke. And to your right, you will see the Roadrunner zooming on by, and then Lobo meeting somewhere behind him.
Oh yeah, I remember reading that comic. That comic was something else.
I mean, it's pretty much what it is. It's literally just it's just another Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote show to replace the Coyote with fucking Lobo, and it's like it's a match made in hell.
Did you see those? Did you ever see those crossover comics, Doug, with like the super gritty like DC like stuff with
Looney Tunes?
With Looney Tunes?
I think I might have caught a glimpse of those years ago, but those don't come into my mind.
Fair enough.
Honestly, like, a lot of them are a lot better than you think they would have a right to. Like, some of my favorites are, like, Roadrunner and Lobo. That was one you brought up. That was really fun. I really liked how Wonder Woman and Taz turned out, especially considering I really like those characters.
For sure.
Batman and Elmer Fudd is as stupidly brilliant as you would imagine it to be.
Awesome.
And there was also one involving, like, two of the Birds of Prey with Sylvester and Tweety, and it actually wasn't too bad.
All right.
That's good to hear.
Whoa, what was that? Oh,
Oh Lord, Lou!
You did
Look
the
at those
thing. Ow,
souls.
Hey, hold the fuck up! How can you double jump with a motorcycle?
Great question.
we're not
And
gonna
actually,
answer.
just going back a bit, what's really fun about the DC Warner Brothers crossover comics is that, like, each story in it, each book actually has, like, 2 separate stories. One that's more along the lines of DC, you know, with, like, the typical DC art style and stories, and then, you know, typical DC art style and writing. And then it comes with another book that's more in line with Looney Tunes, complete with, like, a toonier art style. Like, for example, the Lobo Roadrunner one you mentioned, its B story actually has, like, Lobo drawn in the same style as the Bruce Timm shows.
Aw,
Huh. That's neat.
that's kind of cute. Alrighty.
Get out of my
I'm-
way,
I'm
you
down
goddamn
for that.
demons.
It was not their fault. It's not their fault. Oh lord.
Don't even have a goddamn license.
Maybe it was their fault. I mean, I guess maybe it is their fault. I don't know. But okay.
Maybe they are at fault.
In this universe, are demons like? Are they actually? Are they just working from Mephisto? Just just following orders, or are they like
Essentially
actively
mindless
like?
drones.
Or are they actively like just trying to make life miserable for other people? Like Blackout, like we're going on here. Like like doesn't if Mephisto is like just the devil, shouldn't everyone have to listen to him?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think the way they, yeah, I think like the way they explained it in the story is that like there's definitely demons that do follow Mephisto, but I think he also mentioned that like because of this event going on, there's also like a bunch of rogue demons.
Yes.
Oh,
Which is why our
union-
next boss is Lilith.
unionizing.
Does this whole universe also have a hierarchy system with the demons, or is it really just whatever they feel like?
Well, I do.
I mean,
know
there's
there are,
definitely like
some-
bigger demons.
Yeah, there is like a bit of hierarchy. Like, you know, obviously Mephisto's like the biggest of the big. Then you have like subordinates like Blackheart and whatnot, and it's like, ooh, hello thing. Where are your pants?
Oh God!
Dark heart.
Hey, you should probably call Thing. He might have a spare.
Gives me flashbacks to the fucking PS3 game.
Oh lord. Well, I'll say right now, Chapter 2 seems to be a little bit longer than Chapter 1 so far. So I mean, at least they're gonna step things up.
Well,
I
Chapter
thought it
1
was gonna
is
be like a
the
really
tutorial.
short.
Right.
Fair enough. Now, throughout the game, do you feel that the enemy variety changes, or after a while, is it kind of like, all right, these are who you're gonna be fighting like the whole game, kind of thing?
They will change. Yeah. They will. Some of them will bring in new types of demons. Like the next stage
Oh, Lord.
after this one is ninjas. I know
that's
it's
all
All right,
we're
everybody,
missing.
pick up your mugs. We got another brawler / hack and slasher with an elevator sequence.
Elevator fight.
my friend.
The one that if you decide to tiptoe around, you could actually be in the world's tallest elevator shaft. But no, like, yeah, that's exactly what the story was missing. Demon ninjas, because they realized that whenever they roar, it was kind of really giving away their stealth. So
Pretty much. Oh, excuse me, Bets. I gotta do this.
I would say like, yeah.
Oh, that's right. We
I
gotta
was
upgrade our swag.
I was like, may as well. Like, we got like, let's just upgrade our combo. Now,
I mean, we're so close to actually like maxing out our attack capabilities.
Now, can we actually upgrade how much damage we do, or do you do that like do you get that implicitly when you get more combos?
Say that again.
Is there when you're upgrading, can you actually just upgrade just flat out how much damage you're dealing, or do you get those upgrades implicitly when you get new combos?
New combos and just pretty much your attacks get stronger.
Okay. Does there happen to be a new game plus to play with all your upgrades at once when you're done?
No.
That is surprising, but I mean, clearly it doesn't take long to get all your upgrades anyway, so that's fair. That's fair.
Depending on what kind of player you are, it doesn't take that long.
Go for it. Get them higher ranking scores. Now, as far as the combo meters, there's me a dash in here.
So does it consume anything whenever you do that fiery dash, or is that just something you can do like indefinitely?
I can do it indefinitely, but it will stop the combo for a moment. You have to be very creative with your combos.
Okay,
Gotcha.
that actually does answer my next question. Was that as far as building the combo score, I assume it's similar to Devil May Cry in that it encourages a variety of moves. Don't just spam the same move over and over again.
Yep. And like I said,
fair
taunting
enough.
them can boost up a little bit.
Phew. Okay, we made it to
Wow.
the Crystal Caves.
Pretty.
And
Indeed.
they're even colored like powered crystals.
Throw me over there.
Cool.
I was like, I don't know. I was just thinking, throw me over there. Come on.
Trust me.
Pals, right?
Alright, now shoot the big rock man.
A virtual gaze or you'll go crystal crazy.
Also, fancy to see this guy's left hook is much meaner than his right.
Punch him in the jewels.
Oh, that didn't take long.
Well, I mean, you know it's because they're probably gonna start introducing that guy as a new enemy moving forward.
They will.
Give her here.
We get Earth.
Yep.
You can destroy Earth magic now?
Yep, because there was a path around the beginning that we couldn't access. So we're going to go
Oh
So we have to
no!
go
This is how the game does it, James. This is how they slip in a second. It's called reuse, recycle, bitch.
Hey, pigeon slinkies, stop playing with them because they're mine.
Fuck him up, fuck him up, Ghost Rider.
Let me guess. We're gonna have to come back up this way too, aren't we?
back. Pretty much.
Use your techie hitbox, Mr. Blaze.
Watch out for that anti-air, Ghost Rider.
Quit fishing for that anti-air, Mr. Blaze.
Oh my lord, I know they
You
can't. I know
whiffed
they
your neutral,
Nice.
Mr. Blaze.
Man, that dude is just epic. Not only for having some of the more humorous like CG animations in recent memory, but he can also do a damn near perfect Mr. Krabs impression.
That's right. Yeah, we were looking into his work on Twitter hype, and I had no idea that he'd done like some of the animations we like following.
Yeah, no,
Any particular ones that
does
might
the
need a
same-
reminder?
He did that one thing that Doug likes to reference every now and again. It's like, oh, I hate to disappoint.
Oh,
Yeah,
that.
he did the original. He did that.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right,
he did that one. Yeah.
Right, the Pizza Tower. Did he make the models too, or did he just do the animation?
He made the models.
He made them. Oh, okay. Because I don't believe it was him who did the all of them screaming in unison at the word "boo." I think that was another person, but that one also gets me.
Like that one's fun too.
joy.
Like I love that one too. Don't get me wrong, but there is a part of me that still would have found it funny if like all of them screaming, but Pizza Head is just unfazed by it. It's like, what's going on? Oh,
Oh, that's pretty fun. Become unchained. Oh yeah, see there it is. He's now a regular dude.
Yep.
Now he's just blue.
How reliable would you say the Hell shotgun is?
It's very useful, and I would say it is useful for last-second calls if you want to get that big boost. It really depends on your movement and placement.
Okay. Alright. And oh my
that's
lord.
that's just to the end of the level. Okay.
And back
to
to
the
the
Swifus.
I was like, holy hell. I do have to ask now because I know I do it like I didn't even realize what I was saying. I know I'm still trying to keep this like thing up of like if Hype is gonna play Illbleed all the time, like or like
What?
once every Halloween and I play Haunted Mansion. Oh hang on, we now
You
can
mean
use-
Mecha?
Yeah, I was about to
Mecha.
say I don't even own Illbleed.
Well, I can get you the emulator. There you go. Now you can do the Earth Double Jump.
You also forget that Hype's not a fan of horror games.
Right.
Well, I thought he likes
Let's go back to hell.
No, I know there's there's a game that Hype. But yeah, but what about House of the Dead?
Well, that's just just straight up arcadey goodness. Like I'm not in it for like a lot of the like deep scares and lores.
Okay, fair enough.
You're fine with atmospheric, but not into the scares.
Kind of like
I'll call it like carnival fair horror. I'll call it like carnival fair horror. Like when you go to like Target or Spirit Halloween, you see all the Halloween decorations up, like that like those vibes.
The cheap variety.
Not cheap, but just like just the fun aspects of Halloween, where we get to all laugh at the spook, we all get to watch Scary Godmother and all the wacky
Trick or treat, trick or treat,
trick or treat on Halloween.
Halloween.
And then the
I mean,
giant
honestly,
pumpkin.
that is about it. It's like I don't mind like spectating like some of the other stuff. Like when you guys play like Resident Evil or whenever we get to it Silent Hill. But as far as like me personally partaking in it, I honestly couldn't be bothered.
That is fair. It's why I did feel really bad after a while when we were trying to do our video game movie marathon, and like 80% of them, because I guess they were cheap to produce at the time, was like 80% of these movies are like mad like horror movies because that's what they kept making movies around.
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of the curse of the genre in general. It's like it gets stupid popular, and then like a million other sequels keep on popping up with half the substance.
Right, but like
Thanks, Paul West.
It just took so long to actually get to like non-spook. Like I think the next one we have is Doom is still the next one on our to-do list. But like,
oh yeah, the freaking Dwayne Johnson version.
Yeah, the one role that Dwayne Johnson said he likes the least.
Oh yeah.
But like, and then after that, I think we still have to do Blood Rain. I think I don't know. Like,
I was about to say, did we do Dead or Alive yet?
I don't actually think we did Dead or Alive yet. No,
I'm pretty sure that came out later.
Come on.
Oh!
Okay, fair enough. At least it's not an immediate end game.
Right on the slope.
Well, I'm also trying to
There you
remember,
go.
like, I know we did the first Resident Evil movie, but when do we get to the other ones?
We're not doing the other ones. We decided no sequels, like unless it was like
okay.
so unique that it would do that. Like
Did
that's
we
why
make
we
an
only
exception
watched
for
one.
Mortal Kombat since there's only 2 of them?
I don't think we. I think we were sticking to our guns, and we're not going to watch the second Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Trying to think. Unless it was like unless it was like a remake, we would do it. Like in the case of yes, like even though we watched the Super Mario Brothers.
Oh.
I see. Gotta go on. But
Yep.
kind of like say like so since we did Super Mario Brothers with freaking Bob Hoskins. But
Yep.
we will still of course watch the Illumination Mario movie because that's at least a fun watch.
I would hope so because I love that movie still. I don't care what
And
the
I-
haters
Actually,
say.
if you're that broad with your picks for video game movies, I mean, what about the animated Mortal Kombat movies?
Oh, that is true.
Well, I think wasn't the stipulation that they had to have been released theatrically?
I think that was it. They had to be released theatrically.
Because if that
but
was the
then-
case, we also would have watched the Mario OVA.
Yeah, which
I mean, that wouldn't have been a bad watch.
I do want to watch it at some point so I can so I'm ready for Super Mario Wonder when we absolutely get the tie-in between that freaking prince and but granted,
If only.
okay, everybody, I'm a liar. We're probably gonna pick and choose because I don't want to just watch Sonic 1. If we're watching Sonic 1, we better watch Sonic 2, where it got like really good actually ish.
Well, of course.
Like where it actually got like Sonic fun stuff. Like, but I don't know. Like again, like Super Mario was first of all the Super Mario movie was longer than I remember. Like it's pretty. beefy
Yeah,
movie.
and again, like I mentioned before, like this is still going to be my criticism for it. Like I know people claim the extended cut fixes it, but from what I've heard, it doesn't seem like it fixes it by much. But once you get past that initial shock of how nothing like it is from the source material, like once that shock wears off, it's a really boring movie.
Yeah, there's just kind of it's like dull visuals.
Shit happens.
Dull visuals, not a lot of like unique things. Just talking, except for when Yoshi almost ate a woman. Like with teeth, it was a very weird and Yoshi gets stabbed.
Out of context, Yoshi almost ate a deranged woman.
Yeah,
And Yoshi gets stabbed. Nobody talks about it. Yoshi gets stabbed by the woman.
Yeah, and also like the woman's like
Careful.
backhanded plot makes no sense because like she's essentially wanted to do the exact same thing that Bowser's doing in that movie.
Yeah, I did it. I'm sorry, you mean Koopa.
Koopa.
Exactly,
Koopa and
Bowser.
nothing else. Yes, fair enough. There was that.
Well, isn't it? Well, unless I'm mistaken, I think it was like from like a
The
some
novelization.
sort of supplementary, like some novelization or supplementary material that apparently
Nice.
the king
Earth
that got
magic.
turned to
Destroyed.
fungus, his name is Bowser.
Well, I mean, yeah, but then again, I guess it's just a matter of whether or not you would consider that canon for the movie.
The important thing is the character in question is Dennis Hopper.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's
wacky.
also like another thing that I will also say that like any act like and I don't mean this as a blow to the actors. Like I'm sure they're fine people, but like I'm sorry, but any actor that's not Dennis Hopper or Bob Hoskins, it felt like they were really just phoning it in.
They 100% were.
Yeah.
Okay, have we done it? Have we finally used all of our might to reach the Lilith?
There you go.
In a moment.
All right.
Enjoy.
And look at that, we're maxed out on those combos.
Yeah, we're loaded.
Kick the door
Now.
down.
Locked and loaded.
Oh, not yet.
Kick the door, kick the bomb out.
Okay, we have a few more to go. Let's do it. Yeah. So that was our take on the Mario movie. That again, Double Dragon was surprisingly fun for what it was. Like, kind of a dumb fun, but like, provided you can get past how weird a Bobo looks in that movie.
I was about to say, what did they even do to a Bobo?
But
I mean,
like, it's a wacky.
Bobo was always a weird anomaly in terms of human anatomy, so...
Well, I mean, yeah, the dude always looked like a fucking steroid junkie, but then you got the movie version where he just looks like a straight up, looked like something straight out of Toxic Crusaders.
My favorite, honestly, yes. My favorite is always going to be the one voiced by Mama. He's great, and you did it! You gave him the Care Bear stare.
Oh, that's a deep cut most people watching this aren't gonna get.
So they gotta watch more of our videos. That's how I cross promote the brand. I don't know. Are we almost Lilith? We're here. We're
almost there,
and we can
Logan,
do
don't worry.
this. I know.
Are we there yet?
I wanna.
Are we there
Don't
yet?
make me turn this me around.
This me.
Don't make me turn this skull around.
No, Logan,
Alright,
don't
fine,
make me
let's-
turn
I can
this
do that.
motorcycle
I'm
around.
It's very hard to
don't make
do,
me
and you
turn
probably
this
would
skull.
ragdoll.
It's like, don't make me turn this skull around. I can do that. I'm part owl.
Oh my god, he could do it actually. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's about it. Like we'll get back to those movies eventually. Okay. Topic. Doug, would you? Oh my lord, would you say that Ghost Rider is one of your favorite Marvel characters?
He's one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
If you were to put him on your totem pole, where would you stack him on?
Totally.
Totem pole. That's a
Yeah,
great
we'll-
question.
we'll
I'm
put
not
it.
too honestly sure.
Yeah.
Probably at least top 10.
That's
Okay.
Would you put him above Spider-Man?
No, Spider-Man's definitely up there for me. That I don't know.
So that's a tough one. You're asking him to pick between children, Jane.
Hulk?
I like Hulk.
Yeah. Like, I
Makes
think
me-
for me, Ghost
makes me
Rider is a
giggle.
character where it's like,
It's all good.
anyway, I was just saying, like, honestly, like, Ghost Rider for me as a character is like, I definitely like him fine enough, but what do I say? I haven't grown up with him like I have, like, a bunch of other Marvel heroes, so he's on that ranking of, like, I like him, but he exists.
Okay.
And we're on
That's
Lilith.
pretty much how I see it.
Ghost
All right.
Rider arrives at the station just in time. Time for him to do what he does best.
Too late, Ryder. We have Blackheart's body, and soon he will be restored. We will rule over hell on earth as king and queen.
Not a chance.
I will destroy you. End of the line, Ryder.
Well, now. So I guess the quick explanation going on here is that James, in the original Nicolas Cage movie, Blackheart was, I believe, Mephisto's son.
Well, that's also a
Really?
thing in the comics, too.
Okay, but yeah. So Blackheart showed up. The writer killed him by, ironically, letting him succeed in his plans because he forgot that with all those souls inside of him, that just meant that much more vengeance that could be turned against him. And now I guess this game acting as a sort of pseudo sequel, they're all trying to revive him.
In a way, yeah.
What's so special about Daddy's Dearest?
Well, with
Well,
all
he
them
is one of the
souls, you
more
can-
powerful demons in this hierarchy.
And if demons are made more powerful by consuming souls, then consuming like 10,000 souls has got to make you one hell of a powerful thing. I mean, look at it. Watch. Bam, we have 10,000 souls. We are as strong as Blackheart now, officially.
Oh, look at that.
So what's Electra up to here now?
Electra.
I'm sorry. What's Storm up to here now?
Okay, but basically she's just trying to destroy us while they finish retrieving Blackheart's body.
Alrighty.
Do not get the ball. Do not get the ball. Did not get the ball.
Dang.
Aw. You keep that ball away from here, you hear?
Just keep it up. The only, I think, major thing I would give against this game at the moment, and I don't know if that's something that we can upgrade, is that sometimes these collectibles take their sweet-ass time trying to get into our noggin.
They really do. That's one of my hates with this game.
If I could mod it, I would make it so it's just zoop, like freaking suck it up.
You mean I actually have to
stop
walk over and get them? Ugh.
Now, honestly, that would actually be better if I could walk into them and pick them up like Green Eco and Jack. I would be.
Well, I'm sure he's
okay with
able
that, but you
to.
have to,
It's
like,
just that he just lets them come to him.
Very much. Oh boy.
Did you say rub cola all over my body?
It's not like I have... I like how soda feels. It's not like I have a skin allergy, since you know I have no skin. Carbonation is good for calcium.
No, it's not.
What's with their
You
ballerina?
ever just want to have that
techniques
bubbly feeling in your arms?
All the time.
What? I don't much see the point of that.
It's called taking a bubble bath like a regular ass person.
If I close my eyes, if I close my eyes,
like a regular person.
if I close my eyes, she sometimes sounds like a bird. Where she's like, what was she's like?
She honestly, if I close my eyes, she sounds like mom in her like back in her prime.
You know what? Yeah, all right. I'll allow
That's
that.
not wrong, actually.
Wait, mom back in her prime?
The Futurama character.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's the old lady that Tress McNeil plays, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact,
Okay,
I was
just
about
making
to,
sure.
and I was about to say, yeah, like that, like that's where it happens. Anyway, it does not actually have me. So I mean, I assume it is Tress voicing her.
No.
This character, yeah. It just gives me a similar inflection.
I will look up. You know, I'll actually look up some of these actors. Why not? I'm gonna look into what some of the. I'll look into what some of these characters
Let's
are.
check out who all the substitutes are portraying the movie's characters.
We already got Kirk.
That's fair. We have I don't know how to pronounce that. I feel like I'm gonna mess this up. Dave Fouquet.
Oh, hang on.
End of the line, Ghost Rider.
Johnny survived the explosion. Unfortunately, so did some of Lilith's minions, the Lilin. They took Blackheart's rotten corpse. Time to wake up, Sleeping Beauty. Brought some help. This is Blade. Don't worry, his bite's worse than his bark. Morning, Sunshine. He's gonna go fetch Blackheart's body for us. You got more pressing matters to attend to.
Problems?
Yeah, listen up. Blackout's hooked up with Deathwatch and the Demon Ninjas. They hit the army base at Fort Nelson last night.
And?
From there, they can set off Armageddon at the touch of a button.
Blackout.
I was hoping you'd do that.
Blackout will die by my hands.
Time to hit the road, ladies.
So in a surprising crossover that I haven't seen before, Blade is helping out Ghost Rider.
Yep. Gameplay-wise, he doesn't do anything. He's just going to get Blackheart's rotten corpse.
Fair enough.
So it's just a plot convenience.
Pretty
For
much.
anyone who's curious, because the MCU is sure taking its sweet ass time getting us that movie. Blade is a vampire hunter, I believe.
Yes.
Yep.
And he's technically part vampire himself.
Oh, so he's like the cool movie.
Oh, so he's a vampire.
Yeah, kind of like vampire. Yeah. All right, man, we chase him to this base. So I looked up Dave Fouquet, I believe is how to pronounce his name. He plays Johnny Blaze in Ghost Rider here. He is mainly known for he's done a number of He's actually, I feel bad saying this. I would call him a professional substitute, and that he is subbed in a number of games, including in the Hannah Montana movie. He plays her father, Robbie Ray Stewart. In the Hannah Montana movies games, he played Coraline's father in the Coraline video game.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
there you go. Your moves are more or less all hot and juiced up.
Now we just max out all our stats. Why not? Why don't we?
Soon for these ones.
All right.
Damn. Well, at least we still got something worth saving up for.
Yeah, those seem to be the big ones you want to save up for. And then for hype, in the Princess and the Frog video game, he fills in for the big fat redneck frog hunter, Darnell. Hype is muted. Well, I will fill him on that later. And then, and then as far as he was in TV shows, he was the stand-in. He was the impressionist they got to play Yogi Bear in the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Really?
When he looked all freaking red-eyed and like really out of it.
He was desperate for them picnic baskets.
Let's see, looking through this, again, Mephisto, you already mentioned Scarlett Thornton. Lilith was voiced by one Carolyn Hennessy. Carolyn Hennessy was... Trying to find something we would know her from. She's in a lot of the Dot Hack games. She was Casper in a couple of the Casper games.
Okay.
Interesting.
I vaguely remember that there was one Casper-related game that was released during the PS2/GameCube era, and I was always curious to give it a shot, but a whole bunch of negative reviews kind of turned me away from it.
Well, the ones I see here, the ones I see that she was in were Spirit Dimensions and Friends Around.
That's the one.
Okay, yeah, she was Casper in that. The other one was something called Friends Around the World. And the other thing I can find is that she did play Bambi's mother in the Bambi 2 movie.
Oh, okay.
Yahoo!
I'm gonna send you ninjas back to hell.
You'd think they get the hint by now. Just return to address. He didn't get a lot of dialogue, I know, because, we kind of, killed him really quickly. But Vengeance, the Spirit of Vengeance, is voiced by Steve Bloom.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, like, that doesn't surprise me. Bloom's in a lot of Marvel stuff.
And finally, Blade, take it for what you will. I don't mind. I think he's doing a fun voice. Blade in this game is played by Fred Tatasciore.
Ah. It's like, I know people nowadays are, like, very particular about characters being voiced by the same race as their actor. That's a whole different type of worms that I don't want to get into. But I feel like for what little I heard there, he sounds fitting enough.
Just fit the tone, fit the portrayal. That's the beauty of voice acting. That's how it can be.
I mean, again, so long as you're not a dickhead, I'd say, and you could fit the role you're playing, I'd say that's really all that matters.
Right.
Yeah. But actually, just going back to the voices real quick, I would have chimed in sooner, but I had to go feed the dogs. One thing that I'll say about Ghost Rider here, and honestly Ghost Rider in a lot of things, I kind of prefer the voice that he has in stuff like in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where he has like this very kind of like wispy, almost ghost-like voice that I think fits him really well, whereas a lot of other projects, including this one, they tend to give him like a much more kind of like stereotypical, like monstery sound to him.
That's
fair. I mean, I see where you're coming from, but I agree. I feel like that may work better for, say, like Venom, as opposed to, again, a spirit of vengeance. But then I guess maybe it's because goodness me, I haven't seen the movie in so long. I actually kind of forgot what he sounded like in the Nicolas Cage movie.
Well, but he's not like Nicolas Cage, but with a slight demonic filter. Although that being said, I don't even know if he even talks that much when he's in the Ghost Rider form or not.
He does a couple times.
A couple of times from what I remember.
Oh shit, I think we found the demon ninjas.
That's so silly. Shoot that silly man.
Take off that tacky-ass costume, boys.
What costume?
Take them off. You look silly.
Unlike me, the silly
I'm
fireman.
badass. And you're not.
Call your local fireman today.
Yes.
I am the local fireman. I'm a man on fire.
I fit the description perfectly.
See, my voice just kind of starts sounding like a dumb Venom.
No, it's fine. I mean, like, I'll be honest, I'm a little guilty about slipping into that myself, but, you know, that's
It's time
Same.
for this elevator!
Ah, crud.
It's a classic. The classic diagonal elevator that every facility has.
Alright, where's the big-ass experiment at? Ooh, that's gonna go crawling down or climbing up to us. It's literally the size of this entire platform.
We'll get to it soon, don't you worry.
James just
It's
rolling
around
up. James
somewhere,
just rolling up his sleeves. All right, where is he?
Alright, where the fuck is that man?
Never mind. I'm thinking of the wrong game.
Oh.
What are you thinking?
Umbrella Chronicles.
Yeah, no, that'll be that time. We will get to that game eventually.
Someday.
We will get to fill an entire floor with like 1,000 like hunter a leather skin rug floor with how many. That was still ridiculous how many.
Hunters
they threw at us.
galore.
They gave. I still remember they threw like 30 at us or something.
You could literally build it. You could literally build an entire
We made the joke.
carpet complex with those hides.
We made the joke. We couldn't even see the floor underneath all of their bodies.
It was literally with just nothing but hunter carcasses.
Aye.
Well, Whisker just has very eccentric taste in carpets.
That's fair.
They're useful for more than just secret agents plotting to decapitate you at a moment's notice. They also make for very good carpets.
Well, all right then.
Here we go again.
Oh boy!
Here I go kidding again.
Oh, yeah. I'm the Ghost Rider. Oh, yeah.
I'm looking that up now. Because we've been talking about it now.
His curiosity must be satiated.
Well, I mean-
Has Goofy become the Ghost Rider at any point?
Well, I mean, we brought it up a handful of times, so might as well.
I mean, Goofy's become a ghost before. Maybe not a Ghost Rider, but he has been a ghost.
That is true.
And like I said, there have been instances.
It's one of those things where I'm looking back on that old House of Mash / Mickey Mouse work short. Probably the best animated one, but it's also like he just he walks out the door, casually gets killed off screen, comes back in as if nothing happened. He's all ghosted and wispy like, and he just just doing his normal everyday thing, and then all of a sudden the narrator just talks about the whole thing, the topic of that episode being how to be a ghost, and that's when Goofy gets lost. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Ghost!
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, but where? I remember that. It's like prefers to join the non. Prefers to. So it's like something like first to haunt the living. One must be crash, and not living. It just.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing of like he has to pick his hauntee, and he has three choices. One is Mickey, who's very scared. One's Clarabelle, who's very scared, and one's Donald, who's not scared at all. And of course, we all know which one Goofy picks.
Well, just cuts to him in like the freaking Bachelorette, like I think I know what I'm going with.
Oh, that was admittedly clever. It's like it looks like you're not going to make it, but then all of a sudden that freaking propel. Yeah, that was the double jump. I thought you just landed on the propeller and that actually helped you there.
Nope. He was smart. He did it.
Damn. Okay, never mind.
And here I thought this game was clever.
Damn it! It's all good. It's all good.
That would be a waste of programming if you could do something like that. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
All right, I will allow it.
Once.
Once.
But remember, you only get so few redemptions.
I guess.
So the CTR sewers have definitely seen better days.
Yeah,
I know, right?
I'm surprised how wide and spacious these sewers are.
Like, were the Crash characters just giant-ass mascots all along?
Most likely.
Well, we know Crash is.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just waiting for him to
You
crash
know,
through that
imagine-
window.
Yeah?
You know, imagine if they actually had the budget to make costumes for more than just Crash back in the day.
Yeah, that would be
would've been
amusing.
Like, I had one for Coco, one for Cortex, one for Dingo Dial.
Dingodile suit would be amusing.
I'd be up for that.
I can just imagine how impractical it would be to walk around in a suit like that with a rump that generous.
I know, right?
You know, before he started. Well, I mean, granted, that would be like before he started hitting on the tacos with guacamole.
Oh, okay.
Creases. He does it.
That tacos with guacamole.
I wonder if that is just an Australian thing, because I've never heard of anyone pronounce tacos like that before.
I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be a joke.
Like an
in and of
accent.
itself.
Taco. Alright. We've done it.
Breaking in all that vengeance.
Pure utter vengeance. Thy name is Ghost Rider.
So I forget, who are we after in particular? We're just trying. I know we're just trying to find Blackout, but do we have a particular next candidate on our smiting list?
If I remember
I
his
think it is
name, it's Blackout. Yeah, it's
Oh,
Blackout.
okay. Well, that is Blackout. All
I
right.
mean, those two names always makes me the fuck up. Blackout and Blackheart.
Oh,
Agreed.
that's fair.
Okay,
You know.
I'm glad that it wasn't just me that was getting like, wait a minute.
But yeah, our next dude is Blackout.
All right.
So,
Alright, well
what
then,
the fuck?
turn off the generator, turn off the lights.
Light up the lights.
I am the light.
No, really, have you always been saying,
I am the night.
I am the storm? No, really, have you always been saying things like that this whole time?
That's a fun episode. I
do
really
get
do need
around
to get
watch
back to watching that. I don't even know if I did finish season 2 of that show yet or not.
I never did. The last episode I can recall of DuckTales, the reboot, was I remember the episode with the not Mark Zuckerberg guy trying to be his own supervillain.
Oh, Mark
to
Beeks.
spite. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, the Mark Beeks. Just to spite Scrooge and Glomgold, since he was now richer as well.
Oh yeah.
Right, I think the last episode I saw in full, which I think was part of season 3, was the second Darkwing Duck episode that actually, that had Taurus Bulba, and they actually brought back the TV version of a lot of the Darkwing foes.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. I need to watch that one.
Well, I also remember seeing it because it was actually one of the few episodes they actually uploaded onto YouTube.
Oh fucker! I was on vengeance. You piece of shit.
You had to condemn my score.
You too. Fuck you.
You ruined my score.
Man, I feel that. Man, I feel that. I especially feel that whenever you play the Arkham games, the challenge maps where it's you have to score all 3 sessions of a combat area without getting hit once.
Dang.
You stopped my streak.
You threw off my groove.
You ate my only source of food.
Now I'm gonna starve.
Actually, I don't want to talk about that anymore because I don't like to I don't like to imagine an obese Ghost Rider. It just doesn't work in my head.
Well, he's a skeleton. How could you be obese?
Big boned.
But there's still nothing to have as a protruding gut.
My head just explodes. I can't process it. It's alright, everybody. I'm okay, everybody.
Who's to say he's all skeleton?
Yeah.
All bones.
I mean, let's be real here, do you ever see Ghost Rider shirtless?
Nope.
Not in any comics I've seen.
Adding to my Google search history.
That might lead you to fan content, Logan, just letting you know.
No, would you? Would you believe me?
I do believe we have another out of context line to put into the chat.
Would you believe that 90% of all I'm seeing right now is just the Nicolas Cage thing? Because there was this thing going around, and we don't know. Okay, hang on, Looper. Hang on, really quick. Let me read this thing so I can figure it out.
Oh dang! This guy got freaking hydro pump.
Yes, he does.
Not that it's helping him much, because boom.
Get out.
So okay, so I figured it out. Okay, so here's the interesting thing. So for the Ghost Rider movie, I have to tell the whole story to this. So for the Ghost Rider movie, now that we have the power of water. Wait, wouldn't this and then we just put ourselves out?
Damn. What the fuck?
Now we're bald. Now we're bald.
Something
forever.
ain't right here.
This just don't work. So for the Ghost Rider movie, Nicolas Cage did like a substantial amount of working outs that he could either do the stunts or just pull off the look as a believable Johnny Blaze, in his young age or whatever. So so there's a scene, and this is what I ended up stumbling upon when I googled Ghost Rider shirtless. There's this scene when Nicolas Cage is looking at himself in the mirror when he's like, I guess, first reacting like to the fact that he may be, that he just sold his soul to Mephisto.
Yeah.
And when he's looking at himself in the mirror, he looks pretty damn toned, like really like well shaped, like he has abs, like not like no like weird crazy amount of bodybuilding, like building volume, but still like a really athletically svelte body.
He didn't look like he was taking steroids.
Not steroids. Well, maybe, I don't know, but it was to such a point where there are at least 7 articles of everybody like genuinely believing that it's CG. Like they thought that his abs were CG and all of it was was like taken care of.
It's Nicolas Cage. He can't be fit and healthy.
That's what I said, Ghost Rider. Well done. Fair enough.
Fair enough, Ghost Rider. Have a nice fucking night.
You have gained access. Password accepted. Anyway, so he finally. Whoa! I remember that. I remember that Ifrit move.
Password accepted, but confused.
Ha! I remember that Ifrit move.
Password accepted. Just stop yelling at me.
Get him. But so they so he was recently in an interview, and Nicolas Cage had to set the record straight of, listen, those were not CG. I actually did work out. Nice. He was like, no, I did actually work out. And he said, quote unquote, and this is why I'm never going to work out that hard ever again, because so many people were just so willing to just believe it was CG, like they couldn't accept that it was real. What's the point of me working out to gain abs if no one's going to actually believe them?
Are you saying people actually body shamed a bodybuilder?
They 100% did. That poor little dude. I know he was a demon, but like, what? Okay, that guy maybe jaywalked like one time. I don't think he needed like the I don't think he needed the twists of hell to stab him in the heart and like twist the knife.
That was the poor bastard Dynamut incinerated.
Yeah, literally.
You saw that homeless.
I saw what you did at Taco Bell. You made that coworker clean the fucking toilet.
That's actually really mean.
Let's see. Hi, don't you remember that one Dexter's Lab episode where Blue Falcon Dynamut crossed over?
It has been years, so I don't remember an instance of Dynamut committing murder.
I was gonna.
Well, this is after Dexter made some modification to him to make him a lot more, for lack of a better word, let's just say he looked like he belonged in a completely different comic.
Oh, right, when he made
the show.
I remember because there were actually 2 Dynamuts, and like the OG Dynamut and Dexter were trying to fight the newer one.
Right, that's it. It was a newer Dynamut.
Right, because I remember that. Because the one I remember was, it might have been the same episode for all I remember, but I remember one episode where it's like they were trying to distract someone, and Dynamut like modified himself to look like a cat, and I remember the whole thing of like, "Hey, big boy, meow."
He sounded like Snagglepuss.
It's similar-ish.
Fair enough.
I mean, remember, he's a Hanna-Barbera character. It's not completely out of line.
I felt so... Okay, just really quick, in case anybody takes that clip out context, I mentioned the homeless person because I was trying to be like, okay, what could be a really weak sin? And was like, oh, that homeless man asked you for money and you said you had no cash, but you totally did. But then Doug got me so, like, thinking on Taco Bell now, and now I'm just like...
Taco Bell?
Because now the thought that's going through my head is that like the cruel but really weak sin is
I remember. I see all. I see the time that you left the Taco Bell restroom
with no toilet paper and alerted no staff of its absence.
It is like wiping a marker.
Wow. All right.
You committed the sin of, line.
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 Tomfoolery.
You committed the sin of not forgetting your lines in on the school play.
Have
The
I?
greatest of sins.
It's been. I know I've told James and Hype about this, Doug. Have I ever told you about? There was this really old game that was made by Telltale before they really took off, called like something like Ankh or something. Like, it was an Egyptian point-and-click adventure game. And
I'm not too
one
sure.
of my favorite quotes to take out of context from that was at the very beginning. The whole point of the story is that you, the main character, become cursed with an ancient mummy's, hex or whatever. And literally the whole adventure starts with you and a bunch of, it takes place in ancient Egypt times, but there you and your friends are out late night drinking. You decide to go inside the pyramid and drink. And in your ruckusing, you accidentally knock over some urns. That's really how it all begins. Just, oh yeah! And the whole thing like starts off with the ancient mummy spirit showing up like, you have shattered 3 urns. That demands a warning. And it's just like a finger wagging, and then your asshole friend looks around. Actually, it looks like there are 4 urns that have been smashed. 4 urns? Then that warrants a curse. And you're just like, wow, thanks, man.
Yeah, can you shut up for a minute?
Infidel.
We're that close.
Thank you, fire.
Yay.
This would be the perfect place to roast some s'mores.
I love them.
You would not like that.
Rider roasting on an open fire.
See, you say that, but he's forever cursed to eat nothing but burnt marshmallows his entire life.
Oh my god.
No, burnt marshmallows and chestnuts.
Aww. But, yeah, I mean, okay, the chestnuts are fine. You can celebrate at Christmas. The other thing I remember learning about Johnny Blaze, I don't even know if this is real in the comics, but it was the only other thing I can think of off the top of my head, was that Johnny Blaze hated alcohol or didn't like drinking, so much so that in the Nicolas Cage movie, whenever he was just enjoying himself in his green room or whatever, he would just have a champagne. He would have like a martini glass filled with M&Ms and just eat the M&Ms from the, just pouring it into his mouth.
Oh, M&Ms? I thought they were jelly beans.
Were they jelly beans?
Well, I remember
been
hearing
jelly
jelly
beans.
beans, but yeah, I'm guessing that was just like a Nick Cage liberty that he took, because I'm pretty sure that was not
We
carried
have the
over.
special boys. We have the special occasion that we're completely maxed out.
Hang on, no, there's stuff down there.
Yay.
Is there?
Oh yeah, for the Hellbug.
See?
Oh.
We completely forgot this.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, I
trying to
completely
say,
forgot
like,
about that, to be real.
yeah, I was about to say, like,
Well.
I imagine that's just like a Nick Cage liberty, because I'm pretty sure nothing like that happens in the comics.
Okay. Oh, great.
If Matt were here, he'd probably tell us.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Now I'm just thinking back to that whole thing of like he's cursed to eat nothing but burnt marshmallows, and I'm just suddenly thinking it's like they'd be burnt and they would stick to his teeth.
No, and then whenever he tries to talk, it's like talking with a mouthful of peanut butter.
Exactly.
in my eyes.
Did you look into your what now? I'm not that kind of man, honey.
And he doesn't have a tongue that can wipe all that off him.
That's right, he doesn't have a tongue. Which is weird, because like, if he doesn't have a tongue, how could he talk in general?
How can he live with just? How can he live when his own skull's exposed?
Aw,
Oh, right, he doesn't.
that's how it works. So I'm looking into this because now I'm enjoying looking. Really, I'm so sorry, Doug. You're the one playing. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm talking the ears off.
You're
Doug,
fine.
your thought. So far, like with this, do you have a favorite stage or like things that you enjoy with the game so much?
The chapter after this one.
Oh, alrighty.
It may be one of the
Alrighty.
long. Well, actually, I'm correcting myself. The last 2 is mostly my favorites, mostly because of the soundtrack.
I mean, okay, fair enough.
Gotcha.
I'll consider myself then.
But the But the next one, majorly because of the boss.
Ooh,
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. We shall. Oh, cool angles. Oh, that's right. Because now we can pass this water barrier. That's all we were doing this for.
I love the way they
We're
run
just doing this
towards
because we
you.
didn't. We're just doing this so we don't get our head all wet.
Yeah. Fuck, it sucks.
Man.
Do you have any idea how I'm supposed to find an umbrella in this base?
I mean,
Besides, an umbrella wouldn't do me any good if it's gonna literally burn because of my head.
That's true.
right. Man, rainy days really kind of suck when you have a fiery skull for a head. Because then it's just a skull.
Thank God it's a good thing he doesn't work off of Charmander logic.
I know,
Oh,
right?
no.
Don't even get me started on water parks.
He does it. Oh. So I decided to look into the game a little bit here since I can be the guy in the chair. And what I found is that, first of all, since this is the wacky era of games when there'd be ports all over up the wazoo,
Yeah, the parking ticket.
and what I found here is that this game, they also made a Ghost Rider game for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And one for the PSP, and the PSP was not well accepted.
Well, because I imagine it was like a
Well,
watered
you-
down port of this one.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, here we are.
Oh, in Blackout's wake.
Yep. Fucking bitch.
Alright, turn off the lights.
Movie time.
Ghost Rider found Blackout waiting on the water. The vampire had helped himself to some of the military's hardware for a quick getaway.
Ghost Rider, ready for a watery grave? Once I'm done with you, I'm headed to the city. Some friends of mine are calling on Roxanne, and I want to make sure they know how to treat a lady.
We'll see.
Oh, so we're riding on jet
Yep.
skis.
And this is the last bite with the boss.
Oh, okay.
This early? Wait, aww.
No, he
Yeah,
means
what if-
like this is the last time we have to fight a boss on the bike.
Oh, okay. Let's say like, I hope there's more bike stages. We still got all those upgrades to catch up with now.
Speaking of, could we actually max out now?
Let me see.
Maybe?
I could do it for the second one.
Close.
I think we're close. Yeah, we're close.
Yeah, we're just
After
1,000
this,
We're
short.
so close.
It's okay.
Whoa! Ooh, nice. Twin shots.
Yep.
Ow.
Alright. Alright.
Unfortunately, we can't hit him just yet. Until if
Well,
we
wait,
see
What
mines.
happened there?
What?
I guess
Wait.
he didn't, like, the animation didn't finish in time for him to be,
Or
like,
maybe he put a-
avoidable to that.
Yeah, it
Or
didn't
maybe
finish.
he put a mine under. Oh, okay. So you have to reach a certain state of sliding to be okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting. Alrighty.
Okay.
You're a
Wow.
combuster.
And he's already made a lot of distance.
We'll catch
Guessing
up
that
with him.
wipeout gave him time to get away further.
Thankfully, vampires are notoriously bad at getting directions, so he'll be going around this loop for quite some time, I imagine. I mean, actually,
I told
Is
you
the-
to ask for directions. I don't need directions, darling.
is there actually an end to these motorbike stage,
No
like these
loot.
bosses, like we mess up? Oh, okay.
It's also funny because we actually did a
That's
loop
good.
with Vengeance not too long ago.
Oh, I didn't even recognize that. I mean, I'm liking the level looks of things.
The levels are very nice. Come on, Buster, show
put
that
a
mine.
Down.
Eat lead.
Aye. Oh, nice. Oh my gosh, yes.
Dang.
Okay.
The guy's kind of a chump, isn't he?
Oh, well.
What the fuck, man?
We take those. Whoa. So I looked into Ghost Rider. The other thing I can look up is that the game actually is penned by Marvel comic writers.
That's nice.
That would explain that.
Garth Ennis, who was best known for actually making the Preacher comic series before Marvel. Preacher had a very fun. I remember Preacher having a really fun TV adaptation, but he also is the Garth Ennis also went on later to create, as we know, The Boys.
Ah.
Nice. Oh,
And there we go.
Done and done.
Having seen the Blackout, Ghost Rider headed for the city. He had to ensure no harm came to Roxanne.
Here's hoping.
This is the place. This is where they brought the body. I'm coming in. Any unholy fools want to try and stop me?
Don't say fools like that,
Let's
Fred. It doesn't work.
Nothing like a nice workout to relax at the end of a long, hard day. Now, Blackheart, son of the demon lord Mephisto, me and you gonna take a little ride.
Ooh, boy.
Sweet dreams, Blackheart. Enjoy your beauty sleep. Meanwhile, Ghost Rider was heading back to the city.
Well, that was
the
random.
hellfire furiously surging through his body was telling him that the demons had already hit town and that they had Roxanne.
My girlfriend.
Ghost Rider could sense the evil emanating from the body and knew that this was no ordinary bar fight. There was something bad in that bar. Whatever it was, he would make it tell him where Roxanne was.
Good boy.
Your woman.
Roxanne?
My brethren have her. She's at the church.
Going back from the face of death.
I have to reach the church.
Yep.
But off they go. Bam! Now we can max everything out.
And with that,
I said
that
let's
is-
just gun it.
yeah, and with that, we're way over halfway through the game.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Alrighty.
I'm saving over this file.
That is fair.
Just to be safe.
So, alrighty.
So I'm sure you weren't using it for much yet.
That was well
I
past
guess-
last year, anyways.
Nice. But still, making pretty damn good time, I guess, for this session.
I'll say.
I was gonna say before we signed off, the last thing I could determine really quick was the people who wrote the story for this. They were people who have worked on Ghost Rider comics, of course. And one thing I learned about Garth Ennis is that he's originally born in Northern Ireland. And another game, which I never knew this started off as a comic book, but I remembered the video games distinctly. Have you either of you ever heard of a game called The Darkness?
I believe
Nope.
so.
Has like a guy in a trench coat, guns. He has like two shadowy snake guys on his like shoulders. Like, it was like a first person stealth shooter game. Garth Ennis also was the creator or co-creator of The Darkness as a comic book.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
So yep.
All right. With all that said,
Well,
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you go ahead. You're the host.
fair enough. All right. That's this session done. Join us next time where we're gonna finish up Ghost Rider and get Roxanne back to
Yahoo!
our hands.
Woohoo! But first, our Sunday sermon.
we...
This ain't doing.
We'll see y'all next time.
Yep.